Welcome to Film Features. If you love to discover thrilling science fictions and horror movies, then you are at the right place. Today we will be looking at a movie in which a group of scientists and deep-sea explorers discovers a hidden world beneath the ocean's surface, triggering a terrifying and relentless threat that had been thought extinct for millions of years. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. The movie opens with professional diver Jonas Taylor, Jason Statham, attempts to save a party of divers from a submerged submarine. Some of them, including Dr. Heller, Robert Taylor, are successfully boarded by Jonas, but the sub begins to be severely attacked. As a result, Jonas is forced to decide, over Heller's objection, to abandon the submarine in order to avoid certain death. They manage to flee just before the invisible force obliterates the submarine and vanishes. 5 years later, near the Chinese coast's Mana 1 underwater research station, it is run by a team of scientists. They are employing a miniature submarine driven by Lori, Tosh, and the Wall to conduct an experiment close to the ocean floor in order to avoid a strange gas and discover what is underneath. The group is assaulted and left stranded by something enormous and swift, which causes them to lose touch with Mana 1. At first, everything appears to be well. Later, as they try to restore electricity, they are attacked once more, and Lori is hurt when a screwdriver is forced into her stomach. After considerable deliberation, the rest of the crew decides to follow Mac's advice and ask Jonas for assistance in rescuing their trapped pals. Unfortunately, Jonas has obviously seen better days, as he is frequently spotted intoxicated at a Taiwanese bar yelling at local boat owners who keep relying on him to fix their vessels. Jonas is met by Mac and Dr. Zhang in his room. At first, Jonas tries to get out of it by providing the two drinks and deflecting any advances towards payment. However, he ultimately decides to accompany and assist. Soon after Jonas arrives, Suyin attempts to use a mini-sub to descend and rescue the captive crew by herself. To assist, Jonas follows her, but not before assuring Meiying, Suyin's small daughter, Shia Sophia Kai, that he will return home with her mother in one piece. A huge squid strikes Suyin as she is getting ready to tow the stranded sub back to the surface. The squid is swiftly slain by the perpetrator of the prior attack, a 75-foot-long prehistoric giant shark known as a Megalodon. Before it appears as though her submarine would be damaged, Suyin is able to flee back to the surface when Jonas momentarily diverts the shark's attention with some flares. He is able to load Lori and the Wall into his car. Toshi sacrifices himself to allow the rest to flee as the shark returns for a second attack while tucking a farewell note he had been composing for his wife earlier inside. Toshi is killed when the shark rams the second sub that has gone down, but everyone else escapes unharmed. Later, Heller apologizes to Jonas for not taking him at his word. Although the sub has been destroyed, a temporary pocket of heat has vented upward, allowing the shark to travel to more typical ocean conditions. The issue is still not ended. The crew finally decides to use a small boat to pursue the shark and poison it to death. By using Jonas to blast the tracker onto the shark's fin and then reel him back in, they initially succeed in tracking the animal. However, they narrowly miss being eaten by the shark. Suyin then descends into a plastic tank to poison the shark while the others entice it with chum. This results in a dramatic encounter as the shark attempts to devour the cage with woman inside of it entire. Although she is successful in poisoning the shark, her mask malfunctions and she almost drowns. They nearly get devoured by the shark as Jonas goes in after her. Thankfully, the poison takes effect and the shark perishes. Suyin is brought back on board by Jonas, and they perform resuscitation on her. The team first celebrates by snapping images with the shark's body. The shark's teeth, on the other hand, are smaller than the one from before. This is unmistakably the work of a younger, lesser Megalodon that they killed. The other, larger shark from earlier suddenly appears and uses its jaws to take the other Meg's carcass off the boat. Dr. Zhang suffers serious injuries as a result of the boat capsizing. As a result of this, the shark returns to try to eat Jax, but Heller sacrifices himself by diverting the shark's attention to him. As a result, he is devoured. Morris requests a backup helicopter to shoot at the shark, effectively scaring it away, and the remaining crew members escape on motorboats. However, Dr. Zhang gives his daughter some emotional final words of pride before passing away in the boat from his wounds. Later that evening, Morris informs the team that Mana 1 is being shut down and that officials from several Asian nations have been contacted to deal with the shark. In reality, he called in some small military assistance to attempt to kill the shark on his own using depth charges dropped from the helicopter. He goes out in a boat with a few other people, and it first seems to work, but it turns out that they accidentally killed a whale by blowing it up, which attracted several local normal sharks, and eventually the Meg, who scares them away. Morris is thrown from the evacuating boat and tries to climb the dead whale, but the shark swallows him whole. The crew learns that the shark is on its way to a popular beach in China and decides to use whale noise recordings to entice the shark away from the shore before torpedoing it with the mini-subs. The shark first attacks a nearby Chinese wedding party on another boat, and seems to eat the bride's dog Pippin. When it hears whale noises and eats the bait, it halts its attack. This starts a fierce pursuit between Jonas and the shark as he guides it to Suing, who torpedoes it but to no use. The fact that Jonas' torpedo won't launch is much worse. When several news helicopters attempt to photograph the battle, they foolishly collide with one another, and the resulting wreckage crashes into the team's boat. Suing moves to assist the others, and Jonas engages the shark head-on while desperately trying to defend everyone, slicing through the shark's underbelly with the sub. When the shark tries to maul it, he climbs out of the sub and stabs it in the eye, killing it. 12 common sharks come in to finish it off and devour it alive. Everyone reassembles on the wedding couple's boat once the threat has passed, including Pippin the dog. Jonas and Suing are probably now a couple. Everyone is seen enjoying their win at the film's conclusion, and the waters are finally secure. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos.